Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 160 for this Wednesday, September 10th. I'm your host, Rod, here with some of my really good friends in the chat. We got Christina Ray already here. We got eInk already here as well. I appreciate you guys for being here. I know we got some other members here in the chat that haven't said anything yet. I thank you guys for being here. Good morning. This is Rants About Tech Live, where we talk about the day's tech news of the day. And some eInk news as well. So we got a bit of both here to talk about today. I'm here in cloudy Philadelphia. They say it's always sunny in Philadelphia. That's partially true. Today's the exception. Although it's not bad weather out there. Not a bad weather out there. How's it going, Aaron? Good morning. Good to see you. We're going to be talking about a lot of Apple stuff today. So today is an Apple event day. Today we're going to talk about some news. I did the live stream yesterday during the Apple event. I've never been blocked. I didn't even. All right, so I'm gonna say something I was saying yesterday during the live show. I didn't know that I was spicy over here. I didn't know that my channel was considered spicy. When did that happen? This is a family show. When did the spiciness happen? I don't know when that happened. Companies reach out to me now, and that's one of the things they say. Like I've built my brand on being angry about things. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm happy every day. I live in Philadelphia. Every day's a holiday here. So I mean, I guess I'm passionate, and the passion comes across as, oh, this guy's upset. No, I've never been happier, to be honest with you. I've never felt better in my life. So no. I'm just passionate. That's all. Well, you know what? I did drop an F-bomb. I did. And Aaron, you know I'll go. Aaron knows I'll go. Aaron saw me go one day. I did a live one day after the live stream. I thought I turned everything off, but I didn't. Good morning, The Rock. Thanks for joining us. I thought I turned the cameras and mics off, but I didn't. So the live was still going on. Man, I came in here and dropped all kind of curse words about my connection that was messed up, and it was because of these little connectors that I had bought. I bought like 6 of them and connected them to everything, and it messed up my live stream. I was so mad. I was like, oh, I went off. Aaron was there. Aaron heard that. No one's ever heard me go off like that before. I went off. I had to immediately go and delete that live stream after that. I couldn't leave that up. Me and Amy were in here just going off about these connectors. And Aaron was there to see it. So Aaron's probably the only person in the chat right now that knows how bad it can get with me cursing. I'm not a cursor though. If it's appropriate for the time, I'll curse, but typically I don't curse. So this is a family show. You won't hear cursing on here unless Owen comes on and destroys the whole family thing I'm trying to do. Shout out to Owen, by the way. Owen's supposed to co-host with me on the show yesterday before I got blocked. Anyway, so my live stream yesterday during the Apple event got blocked because I guess you can't rebroadcast Apple's live streams anymore. I broadcast a live of one of Apple events earlier this year. Nothing happened. I broadcast Google's event earlier this year. Nothing happened. So I guess now they're blocking people. Parm says, I think people consider you spicy because you speak the truth. And when something is trash, it needs to be said. I think that's what it is too. I'm not going to hold you, Parm. I think that's what it is too. I think it's because I come on here and say exactly how I feel. I don't try to sugarcoat it. And you know why I can do that? Because I don't care about these companies. I don't take money from these. One of the devices that this company has reached out to me countless times to review this product, and I keep telling them no because they keep saying the same thing, like they forget that they emailed me in the past. And it's the iFlyTech device. First of all, I don't like the name, so I would never review this device, even if none of this transpired. I don't like the name, so I have an aversion to tech I don't like the name of. I stay away from it. It's usually bad. So the iFlyTech eInk device, I stayed away from that. I don't want to buy it with my own money. I didn't contact them, say, hey, I don't want to buy this, but could you send me one? I would like to see it. I didn't even do that. And I do that to some companies. Rada and Supernote, not Rada and Supernote, Rada and Remarkable, I'm in their emails all the time. But so I don't want that device because it's got a dumb name. You couple that with the fact that every time they reach out to me, they're like, oh, yeah, could you do this review? I'm like, yeah, send me the device. They're like, yeah, we'll do that. But we also want input. Could you tell us when you're going to release it and tell us what's in it? Let us view it first to make sure all your facts are correct. I'm like, I'm not a retard. I'm sure I could put facts in an outline. Calm down. What are you trying to say? So I keep telling them no. Because I'm like, no, I don't want your money. I'll take the device if you want to send it to me for free. I don't want you to pay me because that comes with strings. I don't need strings. It's hard enough walking around here without strings. Could you imagine strings in here? I couldn't imagine it. But that's the thing. So it's, companies reach out. I can't do it if they want to pay me. So iFlyTech, it's never going to happen unless you just send me the device. You send me the device. We'll talk. Let's go to the chat. I think people get now Apple overstepping their brand. Shocking. Oh boy. Listen, Apple. We're going to talk about the Apple products here today. We're going to talk about them. I wasn't impressed. I got some hot takes though. Christina Ray. I curse for more than I curse far more than I should, but I'm decent enough about it. I know my audience. Yes. See. That's one of the things. A lot of people don't know their audience. I think I've got an audience that can accept a curse word every now and again. I'm not trying to do that though. I'm trying to build a curse word free environment here. And an anger free environment. We're passionate here. We're super passionate, but we're not angry. GM do fingers count, then spicy. Oh boy. Good morning. Fingers count. Good morning, BM. They do count. They do count. All right, let's go ahead and get to the holidays first, since we haven't started the show yet. I can't believe we haven't started the show. For you guys who are new to the show, I would say this is not how it normally goes, but it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We meander. Let's get to the holidays though before we get to the tech news. So, one of the holidays I want to point out today is a serious holiday that I want to get serious about here for a second. It's World Suicide Prevention Day. Okay, so if you have anybody in your life that you should probably reach out to, because you reach out to them every now and again just to make sure they're on the up and up, make sure they're okay. Do that today. If you haven't done that in a while, do that today. Stop watching the live stream. Shoot a text off to your friend. Hey, you okay? You good? Let's go hang out. Let's go have a couple of brewskis. I remember back in the day when I used to drink beer. If I even sniff beer now, I'm asleep. I'm asleep. I do like Fiddlehead, though. I will do a Fiddlehead every now and then. Morning, Ling. How's it going? If you know someone who you feel like is down and depressed and you haven't reached out to them in a while, today's the day. Reach out to that person. Shoot a text. Phone call, preferably. FaceTime, even better. Go see them, even better. You check on your friend today, okay? You check on your friend today. Make sure everybody's on the up and up. I like to see everybody in a good space. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is all important. All right. That's the only holiday we're gonna talk about today because nothing else really matters a bit after that. So let's go ahead into the tech stories you got. All right. So first tech story we got up here, of course, it's going to be the Apple event that we talked about, right? So let's go ahead and talk about what they released here. So we got new iPhones. iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, and we got the iPhone Air. We're going to talk about those individually here, but let's go ahead and talk about the stats real quick, okay? We're going to just go over these stats. Now, we got a 6.5 inch screen for the Air, 6.9 inch screen for the Pro, and 6.3 inch for the 17. We'll go in a different order next time. That was not good. All of these are they're Super Retina displays, so they all have basically the same display, just different sizes. We got different colors too. So I like the orange color of the Pro. The Pro it got an awesome color. That orange, pixel orange. Go pixel orange. I also like the design of the Air. So let's just talk about, since we're looking at these colors here. You know what? Let's get through the stats first, and then we'll talk crap. So now, camera stats for the 17. We got 48 megapixel across the board for all of these phones. They all start off with the 48 megapixel main camera. We also got the ultra wide fusion camera, 48 megapixel on the 17. We got the same lenses on the 17 on the Pro that we do have on the 17, but the 17 Pro adds a telephoto, so all 48 megapixels across the board on that too. The Air only has that one camera, the one 48 megapixel main shooter that it has on there. I mean, Pixel phones did one camera for a long time. I don't really care about it not having the ultra wide or a telephoto. That doesn't bother me at all. Like, cell phone cameras are pretty good these days. All right, you can get better, clearly, but they're pretty good these days. You guys throw your takes out there. If you got any hot takes on Apple products you want to throw out there, let me hear them. I'm definitely going to give mine. Going on with the cameras, we have 48 megapixel dual fusion camera system for, I think this is for the optical zoom. So we got 5 times optical zoom, 1 times, and 2 times optical zoom on the 17. We go all the way up to 8 times optical zoom on the Pro, and the Air goes to 2 times optical zoom. It doesn't get the 0.5, the ultra wide that the 17 can do. Let's go on to more camera functionality. Actually, you know what? Who cares about that? Let's go into the chip. We got A19 chips in all of these phones. So they all have the latest Apple chip in them. And they all seem to be running at the same, or they all have the same cores for GPU and CPU, it looks like too. So that's good to see. Battery life. We got up to 30 hours of video playback for the 17, 39 hours of video playback for the Pro, and 27 hours of video playback for the Air. So that's 50. That's what they don't say if that's an improvement or how big of an improvement that is over the last phones. But that is an improvement. Okay, I think MKBHD says that's about a 10% improvement in battery life over the previous generation. Pricing for the 17, we're starting out at $799 for 256 gigabytes of RAM, or not RAM, of storage space. For the 17 Pro, we're starting out at $1,099. And that's 256 of storage space. So they all start out at 256 gigabytes of storage space. And for the Air, we start out at $1,000 for that particular phone. What do we think about those specs we got there? I'm blindly buying everything, says Aaron. Oh boy. iPhone 16 purchasers should have waited. 17 is the same price. Yeah. Same price as last year. Absolutely. So they didn't bump the price up, but they did bump the specs up. Now, let's get to some of my finer points here about these devices. Since we got the 17 Pro up here, we'll go ahead and show that. So I do have some opinions. Although they blocked my live stream, I have opinions here. The first opinion I got here is going to be, let's talk about the phones first. We'll go into the phones. All the spec leaks seem to be right. That's the first thing. So spec leaks that were coming out 2 weeks before the event, they all seem to be right in that respect, as far as the screen sizes and the processor and all of that good stuff. That seems to be on point. So leaks are getting better coming out of Apple. They didn't used to be this way. You couldn't count on a leak at all coming out of Apple, but leaks are getting more. They're getting more. I don't know what word I'm looking for. The validation for these leaks are getting better. I'm not impressed with the design. So, and I don't like the design of the 17. So that's just caca. Okay. There's nothing here that entices me. Okay. If you guys like the design, let me know. I don't at all. The Pro, I like it even less than I like the 17. It's too much going on here. Like this would have had Steve Jobs turning in his grave if he would know about this. This is too busy. Too much going on here. And when I say too busy, too much going on, it's like the back of the phone. Okay, first of all, they got a whole separate part that's a ceramic part of the phone. That's the back of it here. That's the lighter portion of this back here. So there's a ceramic portion of the phone, and then there's the metal frame portion of the phone. I do not like this. Like, first of all, you got the camera bump. That's a thing in and of itself. Then you have the actual camera lenses protruding out of that camera bump protrusion. And then you have a whole separate section that's glass. I mean, it's ceramic, but you get the point. I'm like, what? Why? Why do we need this? Why don't we just make the whole back glass if we're gonna do that, and just make it a little more seamless? I mean, I get why I get why the camera bump has a camera bump, because supposedly the first camera bump in this houses all kinds of electronics. So they're pushing a lot of electronics to the camera bump, and so that leaves no room for the cameras. So then you have to have an extra camera bump on the camera bump to house the cameras. Chat. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm not impressed with the design. Typically, oh, Sony, please keep me in focus. Typically, I'm impressed by Apple design. I'm not going to hold you. I mean, I'm running this on a MacBook Pro right now. I love Apple. I'm not so much on their phone. I have an iPhone. It's like 3 years old, but I have one. I mean, I gotta keep one. Just to, you gotta be in the ecosystem to see what's going on. See, beta programs and whatnot. But the point here is, I haven't been impressed with iPhone phone design in a long time, and this ain't it for me. I know it's gonna do for a lot of people. But I'm not impressed. It's too busy. You know what did impress me though? Oh, not that. This thing right here. The design of this thing is impressive. And why is it impressive? Look at that. Look how simple. Just look how simple that is. It's a simple the camera bump has a camera bump. Yeah. Oh, whoa. My bad, you guys. This is impressive right here. The Air is impressive to me. The camera bump on this has a camera bump, just like the Pro. I get it. Again, they're housing some electronics in the camera bump now. In this portion of the camera bump, they're putting electronics in there, and then obviously you got to have a bump for the camera, so it's a bump on a bump. But I like the phone design, says Aaron. Incremental updates, especially to camera, no, says Dirac. Yeah, I stopped caring about camera updates a long time ago, Dirac, because why? They're all good as crap now. I mean, they're not touching DSLRs or mirrorless, right? But they're all good as crap now. There's really the only differentiating factor between phone cameras now, and I mean, even in this lineup, the only real differentiation is how they program the colors and the processing. That's the differentiating factor here for cameras. It ain't the quality, because they're all good. They're all good. For phone cameras, that is. Like, don't get me wrong. They're not taking over actual cameras yet. But as a phone camera, they're all good these days. So anyway, this design right here I like because it's clean. It's just a clean design. The back is all one material. Like the front is all one material. The railing is all one material. I like it. It's simple. This is where they should go. I think this is where they're going eventually. I just hope they get rid of this camera bump here. That thing is not, this whole back, I'm not with it. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just not with it. All right, now moving on from that though. Moving on from the fact that I don't like the camera bump, and like I said, it's smart there for them to move electronics into that camera bump. That's a smart move, right? You got a bump there with a bunch of space anyway, but now where you put now the cameras need it. And you get bigger battery life because of that. So I'm with that. I'm with how they're designing them. I just wish they would do better. iPhone Air, it could be warm. The iPhone Air is the star of the phone show this year for me. For a few reasons. A, I like the simplicity of the design. And I'm telling you right now, people are like, why are they doing this? Nobody asked for this. Why are they doing it? It's not as good as a phone as the Pro or the 17, and it's underpowered sitting next to them. And like, who cares? Who cares about that? You know what this is? This thing right here is going to is basically Apple's. It's a test for Apple. The thinness of this phone has nothing to do with them making a thin phone, although that's a part of it. To me, this is all about one thing and one thing only. This Air is about Apple experimenting with how the public is going to react to an Apple device that's underpowered. This is a test for Apple. They're like, okay, let's make a device that's as thin as one half of our foldable, right? Let's make a device that's as thin as one half of our foldable, because they're going to make a foldable. And that foldable is going to be underpowered. Look at the track record. All we got to do is look at Samsung and Google with their foldables. Their foldables are underpowered compared to their flagship phones. They don't have the same bells and whistles. Apple is like, okay, an underpowered phone, how can that sell at this thinness? We're going to have to make our foldable, at least a half of it is going to be as thin as this phone right here. It's a test for them. How do the thermals work? Okay, this is the first step for Apple's foldable. How do the thermals work in a slice of phone this size? How receptive are our customers to an underpowered iPhone to have it be thin? I think this is a whole test for Apple. Thermals, underpowered, how they can sell that to the consumer. The camera is going to be underpowered, right? Because all the cameras on these foldables are not as good as the ones that are in the flagship phones. Underpowered camera. I think this is a whole test for how Apple's consumers are going to perceive the foldable when it comes out, because all of the drawbacks of the foldable are in this phone right here. The good thing about it is all of the bonuses and the pluses of that foldable are going to be in here. Super thin design, right? You're going to get a bigger screen on the inside. So there's going to be plus sides to this. But I think this, even though no one asked for this, Apple's doing this because this is a test. I think this is a wholehearted test of how their foldable is going to go. What do we think, chat? Give me your thoughts. Going down to the chat here, we got iPhone Air could be warm. It is. 1 to 5 year leaks needed, Apple. Listen, someone released a whole roadmap of Apple for the next like 5 years, and this was like 2 or 3 years ago when that roadmap was released. I can't really recall if it talked about an Air and a foldable on that roadmap. I think it was more talking about the direction of the operating system, less about the design, the hardware. The Rock says, it's a good point. Need to see if their customers will prioritize form, thinness over function, processor. Of course, they could have just tested it with the foldable directly. Yeah. But see, the testing this with the foldable, The Rock, would have meant more money. It's a more expensive test than this is. This is a less expensive test, but all of the same drawbacks and advantages, right? You know what I mean? I think this is well planned by Apple. And they do this. They plan these things years in advance. The Rock says that Air looks fragile as heck, though. Yeah, and I think, one of the drawbacks of thin phones and the Samsung, what do they call that thin Samsung? The Razr? The Samsung, no, not the Razr, the Samsung Edge. The Samsung Edge, and most all thin phones have a bending issue. Like when you try to make a really thin phone, people are undoubtedly going to put them in their back pocket. They're going to sit down and bend them, and so thin phones have a problem with bending. This is a titanium rail though, a titanium cover for this Air. So we may see better protection. We may not. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. The Rock. All right, going into some other things that I thought about these phones. ProRes RAW on the Pro here. I like the fact that ProRes RAW is coming. They filmed the actual presentation on the iPhone Pro. They filmed commercials with the iPhone 17 Pro, and it looks really good. So they got a lot of bells and whistles here. 4K 120 frames a second video recording. That's going to be killer for a lot of people. That is the holy grail of video right there. 4K 120. Like any videographer drools over having those specs in any camera. Now that you have those kind of specs in something that you always have in your pocket, beautiful. Camera bump, I don't like it, but I've already talked about that. TechWeave and Lanyard, they're simply going the Google route. iPhone Air looks like the Pixel 4a. That visor is this visor right here. That's a total Pixel visor right there. I don't care. Look, you know what? Let's just bring up the Pixel 10. Listen, stop playing with them. Look at this visor. Oh, that visor. That you see. Listen, I've long liked the visor on Pixel phones. Someone at Apple's a fan now too. You know what I'm saying? This is a visor if I ever seen one. So yeah, let's not mince designs here. But fact of the matter is, it looks like a Pixel 4a to me. Whatever. Square camera sensor. So BM brought this up in the Discord, where there's a square camera sensor for the front camera. I'm not sure if this is on the Air or not, but I know it's on the Pro. So the front camera is a square sensor. Why does that matter? That matters because now the front camera can take selfies and do a lot of cropping to get the orientation right for what you're trying to do. So regular selfie, you and a friend, it just takes a regular selfie using the regular size of the sensor. If you're trying to get a wider selfie, now it can do not a 9:16. Maybe it can do a 16:9 on that square sensor and get you a wider image for the front camera so you can fit more people in that selfie. Now, that's incredible. BM mentioned Hasselblad in my Discord. BM, if you ever mention Hasselblad in the Discord with Apple cameras again, you're banned. You're banned. Hasselblad. If you don't know, Hasselblad is one of the best camera lens makers in the world. And BM just mentioned them in the same sentence as Apple. I thought he knew something I didn't. I'm like, did Apple do a Hasselblad sensor? What's going on? BM. You're fired, BM. Let's go to the chat real quick though. Dr. Ben, how's it going? Thanks for joining. When they finally release a foldable, everyone and their mom will want to get one. Yeah, I will too. Like, I haven't gotten a foldable yet, and I will definitely hop on board with the Apple foldable because guess what? If Apple does a foldable, you know it works so good. I'm lying. I'm sorry. I was about to say they don't release anything that's not. The Apple Vision Pro ruined Apple's track record to me, so who knows? But I am buying a foldable if they come out with one. That's an iPhone I will be getting. What else we got in the chat here? Parmesan says the lens cover on the camera sticks out past the bump. That's so stupid. It's gonna wobble still. Yeah, Palm, you hit the nail on the head, bro. Yes, it's gonna wobble still. That's been my problem. All right, let's go back. That's been my problem with the Apple camera bumps for years. That's one of the reasons I thought I would like the camera bump on the Air here, because it goes across the whole phone and it shouldn't wobble. But because because the camera bump now needs a camera bump for the camera, because they're putting electronics. So the camera bump isn't for the camera anymore. The camera bump is for electronics now. Now the camera bump needs a camera bump just for the camera. And it's still going to wobble. Oh, it makes me so mad. Parm, I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was one of the sticking points for me. I wanted to go off about that, and I had forgotten I wanted to. So thank you. Christina Ray says, I've got the new Razor, and I'm liking it really well. The new Razor. Oh, the Flip. How's it holding up? What are the materials? Is it metal, glass, plastic? What do we got there on that? Aaron says, the Vision Pro was good, just too expensive. Six people have that thing. Palm says bumps on bumps. Word. Bumps on bumps on bumps. and we ain't talking about lady lumps here. All right, moving on before I get myself in trouble in the live stream. See, I'm like, oh, why do they call my show spicy? This is why. I do it to myself. I do it to myself. I'm just talking. All right, moving on. What else we got here that I think I like about this particular device? Actually, we're moving on. We're done with the iPhone. All right, so in closing, the only thing I like about the new iPhones is the fact that they have 8K recording. That's fantastic. 4K 120 frames a second. Beautiful. That square front facing camera. Beautiful for the capabilities that it allows people to take better pictures while they can see what they're doing. I love that. The orange color, if I haven't mentioned that, pixel orange all the way. Let's get the oranges up. We gotta get the oranges up here. we gotta get the pixel oranges up here for the orange. Listen, Apple heard me. They were like, oh, this guy he's big on orange now, and he just created this company called Pixel Orange, and we're going to release an orange iPhone. Oh, I love it. The timing is impeccable. I love it. Let's move on, though. Let's move on. But I do like it, though. I do like the color. I like some of the things they're doing with the cameras. Beyond that, I don't care. It's just an iPhone. And the design is ugly. So we're moving on. The watch. What do we know about the watch? So Apple Watch 11. So... what do we got here? $399 starting out for this Apple Watch 11 here. What are the highlights for me? There are only a few, okay? 24-hour battery, okay? Anytime you got a smartwatch, I sleep with my watch on. I don't have a watch on right now, but I have a sleep tracker. I have an Apple Watch, and they both have to be really good at sleep tracking, because that's one of the main reasons I have a smartwatch is for sleep tracking. So it being able to last all day is good. Short recharge time is another thing. I don't know about that on here. Maybe we can see some stats on it. But all day battery in your smartwatch, perfect. I love that. 5G cellular, love that. Thinner borders, which means it has a larger display now. Same size but bigger display. What's not to like about that? So beautiful. Pre-orders start today, and they are ready on September 19th. So those are the biggest things for me for the Apple Watch 11 series. If you guys know of other stats that you think are important and you want to talk about those, throw those in the actual, throw it in the chat there. And for those people who are watching and you're enjoying the show today, I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me if you're enjoying it. Consider subscribing to the channel. Consider becoming a member. Like we have chat crew here that have the badges by their name. You could be one of those people. It's easy. You hit that join button. It's 99 cents. You do it. Christina Ray says, Razor aluminum with titanium hinge. Oh, I like that. I like it. That's impressive. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that, Christina. But from what I understand, it is a popular phone because of how it folds. And that was a popular phone back in the day too. The Razr has always been a popular phone. They're always going to be able to bank on that as long as they're making a solid product. They're always going to be able to bank on that, in my opinion. What else we got here? Yeah, that's the Apple Watch 11. So not a lot. Okay, not a lot going on with that. Incremental increases. They got a bunch of software that they're improving on. One of the big things is their blood oxygen sensor. Okay, they're changing that in this watch so they don't have any domestic resale issues like they did with the 9. They're improving it. Also, the Ultra is going to get that treatment as well. So the Ultra is going to not have the resale problems that the Ultra 2 had because of that blood oxygen sensor. They're doing something different this year with the Ultra 3, which I think is great. But what do we have on the Ultra 3 here? Same thing, 24-hour battery. $799 for this one though. But again, thinner borders, bigger screen. That's the theme across the Apple Watch lineup right now. Thinner bezels, bigger screen, and an all-day battery, which I think is great. What else we have here? Another watch they released is the SE. The biggest things about the SE for me, let's look at those. Oh, did we have the SE here? Oh, there we go. All right, so the Apple Watch SE. So the S10 chip, so the latest chip comes to the SE, which is great. Always on display is coming to the SE. They're adding a bunch of features to the SE, which I absolutely love. Them taking their budget watch and saying we're going to pump a bunch of features into this thing to make it more appealing to people. It doesn't have to be cheaper materials and less capable. You know, they can just make a one that's truly as capable as the other ones, but they skimp in other areas to make it more accessible to people. Gestures like the wrist flick is available on the SE, the new one, the 3. It has a speaker now, so you can listen to podcasts and get alerts and things like that actually from the watch. Fast charging is coming to the SE3. Aluminum build. So we got an aluminum build for this particular watch. Fall and crash detection also comes to the SE. So a lot of regular Apple Watch features coming to the SE. Like I said, that was my biggest update for the watches was the SE. It came of age with this particular launch. So I appreciate what they did there. Any talk on the watches, you guys? Anything you like, didn't like? I'm not really. Nothing big happened with the watches here. Okay, there was no big redesign. They just made them better. Just incremental changes to this thing. Did they say the watch was 3D printed out of metal? What? Nah, I didn't see that. Can anybody confirm that? Where'd you hear that at, Palm? That's interesting. I know that you can 3D print metal, but I don't see Apple going that route with their line of products because the precision that's needed and that they rely on with these devices. Let's go to the last thing here, which we have. They have a Hermes variant too, but that's just more about the bands and who cares. The world's best in-ear noise, active noise cancellation on their AirPod Pro 3s. So what specs do we have here that I cared about for this particular device? Oh boy, did we get the Pro 3s? Oh, there we go. Live translation was the biggest thing for me on this device. Live translation was a big demo that they made on their presentation. I like the fact that the live translation silences the person who's talking and allows you to hear the translation better in your ear. Perfect. I love that. They also have improved the hearing aid functionality of this particular set of earbuds. So if you don't know, these things are FDA approved. Whoa. Yeah, so they've got a government approval to be used as hearing aids. So you can effectively, if you get insurance, if you have insurance that helps pay for that kind of medical assistance, this will work for you. And they've improved that functionality on this particular brand. And one of our particular members on the channel uses a pair of these for that function, and she inks loves the functionality, and she has I think she has the AirPod Pro 2s. So if she's loving that functionality that they have now, they've made it even better. So it should be more useful to people who need that kind of assistance. So yeah, kudos to them for that. Heart rate sensing straight from your AirPods, great. 10 hours of hearing aid use. So that's one of the areas that they've increased the functionality and accessibility of the hearing aid functionality. Not only have they made it better, they've increased the time you get using it as a hearing aid. Awesome. So they're $249 starting out, and they're going to be available September 19th. Yeah, I'm awesome. I think this is awesome. Oh yeah, recyclability on the case. I think like 60% of the case materials are recycled. You know, Apple has a initiative towards sustainability, and I definitely think that they push the boundaries every year in every product release with that initiative, and it makes me so happy to see that. So big up to Apple for that and for leading the way in that charge. All right, everybody, that is going to be all of the Apple products we're talking about today. What do we got? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Did you guys buy any of those products that were talked about? Were you guys impressed? Were you not impressed? What did you think of the stats? Was it incremental? Was the iPhone 17 Pro as big of a deal as people making it out to be for you? How did you like the design? How do you feel about that? Yeah, all of those things, let me know in the chat, you guys. Again, we also have a Discord channel. So if you want to continue any of these conversations after we've moved on from a story or after the live stream is done, we have a link in the description to the Discord, and you can join the Discord and continue the conversations there with very knowledgeable people that we have there. People way smarter than me. I don't even know why these people talk to me, because they're on a whole new level. They're on a whole new level. And they're also personable. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely join the Discord and consider doing that. Again, like and subscribe to the channel too. Like and subscribe to the channel. Oh boy, support independent journalism. Let me pull back up my thing. There we go. Yeah, support independent journalism for sure. All right, what else we got here? So we're going to go into some rando things. So one of the things I wanted to say is shout out to Alex from Modos. One of the members in the Discord is Alex from Modos. I didn't even know this. We were talking about Modos yesterday morning. And for those who don't know, Modos is a company who makes eInk controllers, and they make a lot of technology to push along the eInk frame rates and displays, and a lot of other areas as well, but that's what I was talking about yesterday. So they have a way to get 75 hertz from eInk displays, color, black and white, your own, and they sell kits. So I thought that was super impressive. He dropped into the Discord to thank me for shouting him out. I didn't even know, like I said. So shout out to Alex from Modos for being awesome, and him and his partner in business for doing what they're doing. It's just a two-man band over there pushing the technology forward, and I really appreciate what they're doing and want to shine some light on them, and will do so anytime I get a chance, because I just like the work that they're doing. Okay, I think I'm invested in the eInk technology and eInk getting more mainstream. Like, I'm really invested in that, and this seems like one of those technologies that's going to help do that. So kudos, big up, and thank you for doing the work that you do. All right, let's go on to some other eInk stuff, shall we? All right, so I am impressed. We'll get the AirPod Pro 3s as soon as I can. Yeah, says eInk in the chat. Going to the chat too for BM. Extra 3D process on just for starting, then finishing in regular way. Oh. Ultra it's made out of 3D printed titanium. Wow, that's so just to give you guys a heads up too. We were just talking about the Apple Watches being made, being 3D printed to some degree. I didn't think that was the case, but apparently it is. So they're using a partial 3D printing process in their manufacturing process. Very impressed. I am very impressed with that. Yeah. All right. So moving on to some eInk topics here. The next paper, 60. Kit, let's go ahead and take a look at Kit's video on this. We're going to just check it out really quickly here. Kit's at IFL, one of those trade shows in Berlin. He's got a lot of good content coming out of there. So we're going to check out his video on the next paper, 60 Ultra. Let's take a look real quick.
Than some LCD OLED screens for reading on and looking at for long term. And okay, it does have a pleasant sheen to it. It does have a pleasant matte finish. I'll just try and catch some of the glare around here.
First of all, if you guys don't know what this is a regular LCD phone. It claims to have e-paper-like qualities, and it says that because it has a low power black and white mode and a matte finish. It makes me so angry to even talk about this, but people love it. People love it. Like, people want to see it. I'm going to have to get this because so many people want to see it and want to hear my opinion on it. I'm not impressed, but I saw this thing as... All right, we'll move on.
But eInk would just be lapping that up rather than just obliterating the image on the screen. Looks fancy, not sure it's a goer. So I take it all back. I stand absolutely corrected.
Kit was with me on my assessment. Kit was like, "This is trash." No one needs this piece of trash. What? Now Kit's like, "Oh, I take that back." Why, Kit? Tell us.
The TCL NXT Paper 60 Ultra is something that I can definitely recommend.
Oh, because it has Wacom.
TCL's presence is absolutely massive, and yeah, they're clearly a major partner of the show, a major sponsor, and they're partnering to cover.
Yeah, TCL is a big part of any tech trade show for sure. Like at CES last year, like I was there, and it they had a huge presence there. Like they had multiple sections of the show floor.
The Olympics as well, but the one that you guys ask me about a lot is TCL NXT Paper. So I'll quickly check them out.
Kit is going to have to tell me something that's groundbreaking for me to care about this thing. Like the fact that it has Wacom is good, but do I care?
Now, I'm not convinced about that personally, that technology. It looks nice. I would kind of rather have it in some respects for an ordinary phone, but it isn't something you can read on for a long time. So don't think that it's eInk. It's sometimes referred to as e-paper, but it's not.
That's my problem. They refer to this trash as e-paper. It is nothing like e-paper. And I'm tired of people throwing around e-paper as a catch-all term. Like, oh, we call it e-paper, but it's really LCD, and we call it e-paper because we can turn it to black and white, and it's a low power mode. Is that how you feel? Is that what people chat? Is that what people think of us? Do they think we're just some mindless beasts that just want a low power black and white screen? Is that how they feel about us? Chat, I'm more than that. We are more than that. We're more than just people who want a black and white low power screen, right? Aren't we? Let's go to the chat real quick. I don't know how to say this name. I'm going to say L. Hi, L. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here. Give me first holiday Christmas of new shots in iPhone 17 Pro Max, Apple Log Plus ProRes, and Blackmagic Camera app. Only 25, 12, 25. Dude, I'm with you. It's impressive. The camera software is impressive. I said that. I want ProRes. I want what is they got a feature on here that allows you to sync time stamps up to get some bullet time going with the iPhones. I'm with that. I'm with 4K 120 frames a second. I'm with all of that. I want that. I want 8K. Sony, why are you not keeping up with me? Sony's usually spot on with the focus. Today it's been hunting. It's been hunting for my face. It thinks I'm not human. It doesn't like my opinion. We're good. I'm sorry, Sony. We're moving on. Yeah, I'm with all of that. I want that. So don't get me wrong. I think it's impressive that Apple does that. Okay. I still think the iPhone 17 Pro is trash. We're moving on though. We're moving on. Yeah, I think that the fact that they're calling it e-paper just because it's black and white and low power is just doing a disservice to people who like e-ink. Because it's not just the fact that it's low power and in black and white. We deal with it being black and white because the technology is so awesome. It being black and white is a downside for us. It's not a positive. What do they think? Oh, these people don't like color. They just want black and white. No, idiots. We want color too. We deal with black and white because that's where the technology is. It doesn't define the technology. It's a limitation of the technology. I don't know. I don't like how people talk about e-paper and e-ink. Like, anyway. I gift iPhones to my daughter every year. I think that's what L is talking about. And no, they don't send me phones. If you think if you're thinking that they send me phones, no, they don't send me phones. Apple doesn't care about me. They care less about me than Onyx does. Moving on.
The NXT Paper screen has really bad viewing angles. So if you want to be able to leave the device on the table and read it, it's not really the same as paper in that respect.
Okay, bad viewing angles. All right. Chat. This thing suffers from all the bad downsides of LCD screens. And then you couple all the bad sides of LCD screens with the fact that they think we want black and white LCD? No. Why? Right, because e-ink is a physical medium. And because of its physical nature, the viewing angles are crazy good. I mean, look at this. I could not put an LCD at this angle and still be able to see it. That's one of the best features of e-ink. It's physical nature and how that translates into viewing angles. Not just viewing angles, but just how to view it in full sunlight and it not be an issue. Yeah, they're missing the point. And that's why I don't like this thing. I think encouraging companies to do things like this who are clearly missing the point of e-ink, it's encouraging other companies to think the same way and make the same trash. Like, no, it's not about it being black and white. It's about it being a physical medium that you don't need light to see. The viewing angles are the same, like, throughout your ability to look at it. That's the beauty here. It's physical, less eye strain. I mean, it's low powered because of its bistable nature, not because they're artificially turning power off and doing tricks and whatever. No, there's no tricks to be done. It's just bistable, which means it doesn't need power when it's not doing anything. It can show an image and use zero power to do it. That's the bistable nature of it. That's what makes it cool. There's a lots of things that make it cool, but that's one of them.
To really turn into e-ink or has a pen with it, but the NXT Paper screen has really bad viewing angles. So if you want to be able to leave the device on the table,
50, I would take it too.
Now, I
this feels
appreciate
like a sort of USI style stylus.
So USI. So where are we getting EMR from?
Actually.
Oh, maybe the
Same
phone
screen
has
as
an
on the
EMR
XP
pen.
Pen Magic Notepad, if you've seen that review of mine. So good, but same issue with the viewing angles.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's what
I think I've seen enough, chat. I think I've seen enough. There's nothing here that tells me that this is anything I would want. And I'm curious as to why anyone in the e-ink community would want this. I'm genuinely curious, chat. Let me know. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this particular device. Do you feel like it's an e-ink competitor at all? I think this is just a cell phone with a matte like film over it. I could be wrong, chat. You guys let me know how you feel in the chat here. Owen is going to be screaming at his monitor when he rewatches this, says Parm. Yeah. Yeah, he is not going to. I'm taking my chance to bash Apple stuff now because I'm not going to be able to do it when Owen comes on. You got to get one of the biggest e-ink creators on your team to showcase your paper display. Creators on your team to showcase your paper display. Which one? Can best holiday Apple holiday commercial end the Christmas yet? L wants an iPhone for Christmas, and they ain't playing no games. All right, so yeah, this is my take on that. I'm not impressed by this NXT Paper 60 Ultra. I saw it in person at CES. I played with it. The transition from color to black and white is the coolest thing about it, but that gets old after like the third or fourth time you see it, and now you're just left with a very low power, under-capable cell phone that doesn't have any of the advantages of e-ink and all the drawbacks of LCD. I don't get it. So Christina Ray says, I'm already annoyed. Halloween is already being mentioned. Let's not mention Christmas. Yeah. Listen, Halloween being mentioned is a bit early, but I got my Halloween Lammy over here. Did you guys see my Halloween Lammy? I lied. I didn't make the Halloween Lammy yet, but I am. I think I might have showed it on a previous live. All right, let's get to the next thing we got to talk about here. So I'm not impressed by TCL NXT Paper. It's not in my. I don't care. I don't care at all. What do we got next up here? What we got? Supernote Nib availability. Okay, so wow, we're moving, and we're almost at the end of the show. So we're making good time today, you guys. So let's talk about Supernote Nib availability. So this is what I came across. Another e-ink topic here. This is what I came across the other day when I tried to go and rebuy a bunch of Supernote nibs because I sell them on the site. So if you guys don't know, let's go here. You can go to the Rants About Tech website. You go to the store. You will see t-shirts there, but what you also see is nibs. So we got ceramic nibs that you can fit in most ERM pens. We don't have the crystal ones in right now. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I do have the Supernote ones in, and you can buy those. So those will fit in most ERM pens. They are becoming a little bit harder to get, though, and that's what the next story is about. So I go to the site, and I'm like, okay, I typically buy a few. I typically buy a few of the refills because the only way you can get the nibs is buying these refills. I typically buy some refills here, and I typically buy some half pen modules here, just so I'm not buying a bunch of the same thing. You get the same nib in both. Again, these things are $50 a piece, which is why they're a little bit more expensive on my website. They start at $50, and that's just for the nib. Okay, that's before I do any work at all. But the point is, I went to go buy some, and then I see this. Sold out. What? I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, what is going on? Supernote nibs, one variant of them sold out. Does that mean they have a shortage on them? And they're not putting them in that refill anymore? To me, that's what it feels like. Chat, it feels like this is just me talking. It feels like they sell way more of these than they do of these. And the reason I'm singling these out is because they're both the same price. They sell way more of these refills than they do the half pen modules. It feels like they are short on nibs, so they're only going to continue to to sell the refill. I can't imagine this material being in short supply. This is just metal. Anyway, the point is, it's been hard to get the Supernote nibs lately. Like, it's been tons of delays. And if you guys have, and if anyone here has been watching the live stream, or if anyone here has been buying, if you bought a nib from me recently, the nibs sell well. So the nibs sell well. But it's been hard for me to get them, and I have to email people and email customers and say, hey, it's going to be a couple weeks before I get these nibs because Supernote has got them on back order. And that happens a lot. So not only is it hard to get them intermittently, I think it's going to be harder to get them as well. And it may even get more expensive to get them, which is why I'm trying to get the crystal nibs to a good spot before that happens, because I would hate for there to be no way for us to get ceramic nibs and other pens other than buying a Supernote pen. That would be unfortunate. But because I think the community has gotten used to being able to use ceramic and other pen styles. With me doing what I'm doing, there's a couple people on Etsy also doing it. There's some people also making inserts. We had a gentleman on the live stream. Oh, who was it there? I'm gonna mess the name up. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try it. But we had a gentleman in the Discord and on the live stream that makes inserts. And we had him on the show as well for these that you can put these Supernote refills into a variety of pens and have it work normally for you. So there's lots of options being thrown around out there for people to get ceramic nibs in normal pens. Those options may be drying up if you can't even get the ceramic nibs, right? So I'm working on it. I'm working really hard on getting the crystal nib and a couple of other nib types that I'm trying to get working so that we still have options if the worst happens, if these things do become harder to get. I don't want this to be the future, but I can see a future to where you can only get a Supernote nib if you buy the pen. These refills may be a thing of the past, especially seeing as how we already got one that's sold out. So, and I've never seen Supernote nibs sold out before, or a way to get the Supernote nibs sold out. So that's new to me. Just a foreshadowing of what might be the past. And know that I'm working hard on trying to get my own ceramic nib going, so we always have an option for ceramic nibs. Now, that brings me to the crystal nib conversation that I wanted to talk about, which I just wanted to update some people on the crystal nib situation as a whole. Can we move that over here? There we go. All right. Crystal nib availability. So now that I've gotten all the feedback, like I've had to process 3 returns for crystal nibs. I think there was 5 mishaps out of, or 5 breakages. 5 crystal nibs broke for various reasons out of the 30. I don't think that's a bad number. Okay, out of 30 nibs being sold, 3 refunds and 5 went bad. So I did 5 replacements for everybody. So even if you got a refund, I sent you another one out. And which is why I didn't do a secondary sale after the initial sale, because I held on to those in case people wanted replacements. And I wanted to be able to, I wanted everyone to feel good about what happened, right? If yours broke, I refunded you if you wanted a refund, and I also sent you a second one out. Just so everyone feels good about it, right? And a lot of people just love it and they want more of them. People who don't have them have heard word of mouth about them and want to try them for themselves. So today I put the next order in for the nibs. So we got another order coming in. Now, this is how it's going to work. What we're going to do with the crystal nib is I'm going to do 2 nibs per package. Either I'll do 2 nibs per package, or we'll just drop the price of a single nib. But the point is, thanks to everyone out there who invested in the process and in the project, I had enough capital to make a bigger order for the crystal nibs. So with a bigger order came decreased prices, which means I can either drop the price or I can add more nibs in the package for the price of one. So that's what I'm trying to work my head around. I take feedback. So if you guys have any feedback on how you think how you feel like this should work, throw me feedback. Rod at feedback at rantsaboutTech.com. Rod at rantsaboutTech.com. You can send feedback to the Discord, right? Hit me up through Discord. The link in the description. You can hit me up on the channel comments. You can hit me up on the live stream comments. You can hit me up anywhere you can find me online and give me feedback on how you think this could best be handled, how you would like to see it done. And I'll take that into consideration. But the fact still remains, we have more coming in. We will do more than one in a package if we have to. That's the initial take I want to do, is just do more than one in a package. So if something happens to one, people have a backup. And that seems to fix a lot of issues that I had. If I was able to put two in a package this first run, I think there would have been no refunds for one. And there would have been people would have been less aggravated by breakages for the nibs. So that's the thing I'm gonna try to do here. So it's gonna be about a month. So we won't get these nibs till October. Okay, so October they'll be coming in, and I'll start selling them. Another thing we're gonna do is colors. So I'm gonna do different nib sleeve colors. So the sleeve that holds the crystal nib, we're going to do white, black, and we're going to do orange. Okay, so I'm going to do those three colors for the crystal nib sleeve. And you'll be able to pick the color when you order them online. You can mix and match if you want to. But there'll be options for you to dictate that on the website when they go live to be sold. So crystal nibs are coming in. We'll be able to do more for the same amount of money because I was able to order more, and the price goes down when you can put a bigger order in. And when this is the third time the company's had to deal with me, so just building a relationship with people, you get better pricing as well. So if this continues, I can even order more at a smaller price. Maybe we can get the crystal nib pricing down to a point to where we can treat them like consumable parts, right? We're not there yet, but you guys can continue support and me continue to sell these funds that kind of research and making it better. So the round after this, what I'm trying to do is build on the durability. So after this round right here that we're going to sell, the durability will be getting worked on, and that will lead to a different material. And we won't have a question about whether it's going to drop and be fragile. This third round of nibs will be as durable and as strong as the Supernote nibs. But that's the thing, right? You try to refine and make things better. Just like Apple did with their phone, right? They had a glass back to their phone, and they were selling those, but they realized the glass was scratching too much and was too fragile for people that were dropping them, right? So now this year, they're going with the ceramic shield for front and back. Less scratch resistant. Less fracture resistant, right? So even bigger companies like Apple are, they put a product out that they think is best for what they can do at the time. Once they find a better way to do it, a better material to do it with that's going to serve their customers better, they do that. And that's exactly the position I'm in right now, finding ways to make it better for the consumers who are buying the product that I'm putting out. And that's what I'm moving forward towards. So they'll be out soon. More durable this third round. This second round right here is going to be the same ceramic nibs that I sold the first round. I'll just have more of them to sell at a better price. And the third round after that, we're moving on towards the durability, because with the second round of sales, that will fund research for a way more durable material. So that's what we're doing with that. And if you guys have any thoughts, like I said, hit me up with the feedback. I think that's it. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, I'm sending you a pin to see if the crystal nib will fit, says Aaron. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. Aaron's been a huge pin supporter. Aaron's a huge pin aficionado, and he's a pin connoisseur. And I appreciate his enthusiasm for getting these kind of things done. I really do. What can you... Apple Pencil just... Whoa. Yes, L. L's on one today. Buck says, if you're doing two packs, I'd be interested in a regular and Norris pair. Oh, see, there we go. Thank you for bringing that up, Buck. Wow. I'm so glad I got smart people in the chat. So Buck brought up a good thing. I will be able to do mix matching. If you want the Norris digital mixed, one Norris digital mixed with one EMR standard, that would be possible in the same package for the same price. Two different nib sheaths, two different nib colors. That would be possible. So thank you for saying that, Buck. I'm put that on my radar, and I'm gonna add that to my list of things that are gonna be my list of configurations that I put on the site for people to get that done with. Wow. All right, everybody. This is gonna be the show. This was fun. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this. I appreciate all the eInk faithful for staying around for the rest of the show, the eInk portion of the show. You guys are the best. The show is growing, so I really appreciate you. The show is growing, so more people are in the chat. I anticipate the chat growing even more over the next couple of weeks as I get more reviews out. So I'm going to be putting more unboxings and reviews out. My unboxing of the Remarkable Paper Pro Move should be out today. So the Remove unboxing is going to be out today. You guys get subscribed, like this video if you haven't already, if you're still here, and look forward to that. Turn your notifications on. Look forward to that Remove video that's coming out. What else we got going on? I think that's it. You guys join me tomorrow. We do this every day, Monday through Friday during the week, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. And we talk about tech. We talk about eInk. We talk about life. We talk about life. We do life too. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. And until tomorrow, take care.